What's up, guys? It's your boy, Mr. Beast, but we're doing things a little different today. We're taking on a challenge that's gonna blow your minds. We're hitting the streets with just 10 bucks each, and no, we're not buying a gourmet meal. We're about to build something epic, something you'd never expect to see in the middle of the city. Get ready for a wild ride because we're not just building something cool, we're sharing a story that'll hit you right in the feels and give you the tools to conquer any challenge life throws your way. So buckle up, smash that like button, and let's get this challenge started. Alright guys, the challenge is simple, deceptively simple some might say, but don't let that fool you. This is going to test our creativity, resourcefulness, and teamwork to the max. We're not just building any fort, we're building a fort with a twist. We've each got a crisp $10 bill and we've got 1 hour to build a fort. That's right, just 10 bucks. It might not seem like much, but with the right mindset it can go a long way. Not just any fort, a fort right here in the heart of the city. Imagine the bustling streets, the towering buildings, and amidst all that, our little sanctuary. It's going to be epic. Now you might be thinking, Mr. Beast, you're slipping. 10 bucks won't even buy you a decent meal these days. And you're not wrong. In today's world, $10 can disappear in the blink of an eye. But that's the beauty of this challenge. And you're right, but that's where the challenge gets real. It's not just about the money. It's about how we use it. It's about thinking outside the box, being innovative, and making the most out of what we have. We're limited to using only stuff we can snag from the dollar store or find lying around. This means we have to be on the lookout for hidden treasures, things that others might overlook. It's a scavenger hunt and a building challenge all rolled into one. That's right, we're talking pool noodles, duct tape, maybe even some plastic tablecloths if we're feeling fancy. These might seem like ordinary items, but in the right hands, they can become the building blocks of something extraordinary. We're about to turn this concrete jungle into our own personal fortress of savings. It's not just about building a fort, it's about transforming our environment, making something out of nothing, and showing that with a little creativity, anything is possible. So stick around because you won't believe what we can achieve with a little creativity, a whole lot of duct tape, and a whole lot of heart. This is more than just a challenge. It's an adventure, a journey, and a testament to what we can accomplish when we put our minds to it. Let's dive deeper into the planning phase. The first step is brainstorming. We need to come up with a solid plan. What kind of fort are we building? How big should it be? What materials do we need? These are all questions we need to answer before we start. Sketching out our ideas helps us visualize the final product. It's like creating a roadmap for our project. We need to think about the structure, the design, and the functionality of our fort. Every detail matters. Once we have a plan, it's time to divide and conquer. We'll split into teams, each with a specific task. Some of us will be in charge of gathering materials, while others will focus on the construction. Teamwork is crucial here. The dollar store is our treasure trove. We need to be strategic about what we buy. Pool noodles, duct tape, plastic tablecloths, cardboard boxes. These are just a few of the items that can be transformed into building materials. We need to think creatively and make the most of our budget. But the dollar store isn't our only source. The city itself is full of hidden gems. Discarded cardboard, old pallets, and other materials can be repurposed for our fort. It's all about seeing the potential in everyday items. With our materials in hand, we head back to our building site. The excitement is palpable. We're ready to turn our vision into reality, but we need to stay focused and work efficiently. Time is ticking. The construction phase is where the magic happens. We start by building the frame of our fort. Pool noodles and duct tape become our best friends. We need to make sure the structure is sturdy and stable. Teamwork is key. We need to communicate and coordinate our efforts. Every piece of tape, every cut, every assembly needs to be precise. It's a true test of our collaboration skills. Once the structure is complete, it's time to add the finishing touches. Decorations, personal touches, and little details that make our fort unique. This is where our creativity really shines. And there it is, our $10 fort, standing tall in the heart of the city. It's more than just a structure. It's a symbol of our creativity, resourcefulness, and teamwork. We've turned a simple challenge into an unforgettable experience. The sense of accomplishment is incredible. We've proven that with a little creativity and a lot of heart, we can achieve amazing things. This challenge has brought us closer together and shown us the power of teamwork. Let's take a closer look at our fort. The details, the craftsmanship, the ingenuity, it's all there. Every piece tells a story, every detail reflects our hard work and dedication. As we reflect on the challenge, we share our favorite moments and the obstacles we overcame. The laughter, the struggles, the triumphs, it's all part of the journey. This experience has taught us valuable lessons about creativity, resourcefulness, and the power of working together. As we pack up and clean the site, we make sure to leave no trace. It's important to respect our environment and leave it as we found it. This challenge has not only been about building a fort, but also about being responsible and mindful of our surroundings. As we walk away, we take one last look at our fort. It's a reminder of what we can achieve when we put our minds to it. This $10 Fort Challenge has been an incredible adventure, and we can't wait for the next one. Thanks for joining us on this journey. Remember, it's not about how much money you have, it's about how you use it. With creativity, resourcefulness, and teamwork, anything is possible. Until next time, keep dreaming big and building even bigger. See you in the next challenge. Alright, time to raid this dollar store like we're on a mission, because we are. We're here to build the ultimate fort on a budget. We need to be smart with our cash. Every penny counts. Let's see how far we can stretch our dollars. First up, the structural integrity of this fort depends on a solid foundation. And what better material than the noble pool noodle? They're versatile and colorful. At $1.25 each, we can afford a few. Let's grab a bunch to make sure our fort is sturdy. Next up, the duct tape aisle, our best friend for this challenge. Duct tape is essential for any DIY project. We're talking structural support, decoration, maybe even fashion accessories if we have time. The possibilities are endless with duct tape. And of course, no fort is complete without a roof. We need something to keep us dry and cozy. We found some plastic tablecloths for $1 each, perfect for keeping the elements out and the fun in. Let's do this. Time to get creative and build our masterpiece. We were just about to check out when we spotted it, a holy grail of budget building materials. The store's cardboard recycling bin. We asked nicely, and they let us take all we wanted for free. This, my friends, is a game changer. We're talking extra support for the walls, maybe even a lookout tower if we're feeling ambitious. This is what it's all about, using those problem-solving skills, thinking outside the box, or in this case, inside the cardboard box. Remember, limitations breed creativity. And right now, we're feeling like architectural geniuses. Let's get building. All right, we've got our materials. It's a beautiful day, the sun is shining, and the air is filled with the promise of creativity and hard work. We've gathered everything we need for our DIY project, and the excitement is palpable. The city street is bustling with activity, and amidst the urban chaos, we've got our pile of construction materials ready to go. From wooden planks to colorful pool noodles, and of course, the ever-reliable duct tape, we've got it all. The anticipation is building as we prepare to embark on this construction adventure. We've got our game plan. Our team is huddled together, reviewing blueprints and discussing the best approach to bring our vision to life. The park is the perfect setting for our project, providing ample space and a touch of nature to inspire us. We're going over every detail, making sure we have a solid plan in place. The blueprints are spread out before us, and we're pointing out key areas, making notes, and ensuring everyone is on the same page. It's a collaborative effort, and the energy is infectious. We're ready to tackle this project head-on. It's time to unleash our inner construction worker. We're thinking pool noodles for the frame. These colorful, flexible tubes are perfect for creating a lightweight yet sturdy structure. As we start assembling the frame, there's a sense of camaraderie and teamwork. Each person has a role to play, and we're all working together seamlessly. The pool noodles are coming together beautifully, forming the skeleton of our fort. It's amazing to see our vision start to take shape right before our eyes. The park is alive with the sounds of laughter and the clinking of materials as we build. Duct tape to hold it all together. This versatile adhesive is our best friend in this project. We're using it to secure the joints, reinforce the frame, and ensure everything stays in place. The rolls of duct tape are being passed around and everyone is getting involved. It's a flurry of activity as we wrap, stick, and press the tape into place. The hands-on nature of this project is incredibly satisfying, and there's a sense of accomplishment with each piece of tape applied. The fort is starting to look more and more like a real structure, and our excitement is growing. And those trusty tablecloths for walls. We're not gonna lie, things got a little chaotic. The fort collapsed a couple of times. But that's all part of the process, right? We're learning as we go, making adjustments and figuring out what works best. The tablecloths add a whimsical touch to our fort, giving it a cozy, homemade feel. There were moments of frustration, sure, but also moments of pure joy and laughter. The makeshift walls flutter in the breeze, and despite the setbacks, we're determined to see this project through. The chaos is just part of the fun. We may or may not have gotten tangled in duct tape. It's all part of the DIY experience. There were some hilarious moments where we found ourselves stuck, quite literally, in our own creation. But those moments only added to the charm of the project. We laughed it off, helped each other out, and kept going. The struggles and the fails are what make the successes even sweeter. It's a reminder that perfection isn't the goal. It's the journey and the memories we create along the way that matter most. And boy, did we create some unforgettable memories. But hey, that's all part of the fun, right? People passing by were giving us some seriously confused looks. We were quite the spectacle, and it was amusing to see the reactions of those around us. Some stopped to watch, curious about what we were building. Others just shook their heads and smiled, probably thinking we were a bit crazy. But that's the beauty of it. We're out here, in the middle of the city, doing something unexpected and creative. It's a reminder that you don't need a big budget or a fancy setup to have a good time and build something awesome. But that's the beauty of it. We're out here proving that you don't need a big budget to have a good time and build something awesome. Stay tuned, the fort is coming together, and it's a testament to what can be achieved with a little creativity and a lot of teamwork. We're making something out of nothing, and it's a beautiful thing. The process is just as important as the end result, and we're enjoying every minute of it. The park is our playground, and we're making the most of it. The fort is a symbol of our collective effort and imagination. Because you won't believe what this fort looks like now. The final reveal is nothing short of spectacular. The fort stands tall and proud, a testament to our hard work and determination. It's a colorful, whimsical structure that brings a smile to everyone's face. We've transformed a pile of materials into something truly special. The celebration is in full swing with high fives, cheers, and a sense of accomplishment. We've done it. We've created something amazing, and we've had a blast doing it. This fort is more than just a structure. It's a symbol of creativity, teamwork, and the joy of building something with your own hands. Let's take a moment to appreciate the MVP of this entire operation: duct tape. This stuff is seriously the glue holding our dreams together, literally. We're using it to connect the pool noodles, reinforce the cardboard walls, and even patch up a few holes where our construction skills might have been a little lacking. But hey, that's the beauty of duct tape, it fixes everything. And let's be real, is it even a real DIY project if you don't use at least a whole roll of duct tape? We're pretty sure we could build a whole house out of this stuff, if we had enough time and willpower. Okay, we've got the basic structure up, the walls are looking surprisingly stable now. Comes the big decision. Do we go all out and add a roof? We're talking next level fort game here. Imagine this, a roof made of those blue plastic tablecloths, maybe even some cardboard shingles if we're feeling fancy. But here's the catch. Adding a roof means sacrificing some of our precious budget for extra materials. Do we risk it all for architectural glory or play it safe and keep it open air? This is where you guys come in. We're putting it to a vote. Head to the comments and let us know, roof or no roof. After 3 hours, $10 and enough duct tape to last a lifetime, we present to you our masterpiece. This is not just a fort, this is a testament to the power of creativity and a whole lot of hustle. We've got walls, we've got a roof, we've got enough lights to rival the Las Vegas Strip, and we did it all with just $10 each. But the best part? The reactions from the people passing by. They couldn't believe we built this whole thing with just dollar store finds and some good old-fashioned ingenuity. Stay tuned because things are about to get real. We had to capture the looks on people's faces when they saw our $10 masterpiece.
It was a mix of awe, disbelief, and maybe even a little bit of jealousy.
One guy even asked if he could move in.
We told him the rent was one high five and a good story.
Wait, you made this for $10? That's insane, it looks amazing.
We're not gonna lie, it felt pretty good to blow people's minds with our resourcefulness.
It just goes to show that you don't need a lot of money to have a big impact. This whole experience got us thinking about the power of resourcefulness, especially when you're facing tough times. It reminded us that even when you feel like you're down to your last dollar, a little bit of creativity and determination can go a long way. And that's what we really want to talk about today. We want to share a story with you, a personal story that's never been told before, a story about resilience, hope, and the power of the human spirit. Get ready to be inspired. We're about to get real, guys. This next part of the video is going to hit you right in the feels. We're going to share a personal story that changed our perspective on challenges and taught us the true meaning of resilience. So grab your tissues, get ready to be inspired, and don't forget to subscribe because you won't want to miss this.
Building this fort today brought back a lot of memories, especially for me. It took me back to simpler times when creativity and resourcefulness were my best friends. It reminded me of a time when I had to be incredibly resourceful. A time when $10 was all I had to get me through an entire week. Every penny counted, and every decision mattered. It's not something I talk about a lot, but I think it's important to share, to show you that everyone goes through tough times, and it's how you overcome those challenges that defines you. We all have our own battles, and sharing them can inspire others. This isn't just about a fort anymore, it's about the struggles that so many people face every single day. And it's about the incredible resilience of the human spirit. It's a testament to our ability to adapt and thrive no matter the circumstances. So sit back, listen closely, and let's have a real conversation. Let's explore these stories together and find strength in our shared experiences. A few years ago, I found myself in a really tough spot financially. It was one of those moments in life where everything seems to be falling apart, and you feel like you're standing on the edge of a cliff, looking down into an abyss. I had just moved to a new city, full of hopes and dreams, ready to start a new chapter in my life. The city was vibrant, full of life and opportunities, or so I thought. But reality hit me hard, and I quickly realized that things weren't going to be as easy as I had imagined. The cost of living was high, and finding a stable job was proving to be more difficult than I had anticipated. I was determined to make it work, though. I had come this far, and I wasn't about to give up. I had just moved to a new city to chase my dreams, but things weren't exactly going according to plan. The excitement of a new beginning was quickly overshadowed by the harsh realities of urban life. I found myself in a small, cramped apartment surrounded by boxes that I hadn't even had the time or energy to unpack. The city skyline, which had once seemed so full of promise, now felt like a constant reminder of my struggles. Every day was a battle to stay afloat, and I was constantly worried about how I was going to make ends meet. The dream I had been chasing seemed to be slipping further and further away with each passing day. I was working odd jobs, trying to make ends meet, but it felt like I was barely scraping by. I took on any work I could find, from waiting tables to doing handyman jobs, and even selling items on the street. Each job was a temporary fix, a band-aid on a much larger wound. The hours were long and the pay was minimal, but I didn't have any other options. I was constantly exhausted, both physically and mentally. The stress of not knowing where my next paycheck was coming from was taking its toll on me. I felt like I was running on a treadmill, expending all my energy but not getting anywhere. It was a relentless cycle of work and worry, and I didn't know how much longer I could keep it up. I remember one week I had exactly $10 left to my name, and I had no idea how I was going to make it last. That $10 bill felt like both a lifeline and a curse. It was all I had, and I knew I had to make it stretch as far as possible. I sat down with my empty wallet and tried to figure out a budget. Every penny counted, and I had to be incredibly careful with how I spent it. I made a list of the essentials I needed, and I prioritized them. Food was at the top of the list, but even that was a challenge. I had to get creative with my meals, finding ways to make simple ingredients go a long way. It was a test of my resourcefulness and resilience, and it pushed me to my limits. It was a humbling experience, to say the least. Sitting in the park, reflecting on my situation, I realized how much I had taken for granted before. The simple act of buying a cup of coffee or going out to eat with friends now seemed like a luxury I couldn't afford. I had to rethink my entire approach to life and find new ways to find joy and fulfillment without spending money. It was a time of deep introspection and self-discovery. I learned to appreciate the small things like a walk in the park or a conversation with a friend. These moments became my source of strength and motivation to keep going. I had to swallow my pride and ask for help from friends and family. It wasn't easy, but I knew I couldn't do it alone. The support I received was overwhelming and humbling. My friends and family rallied around me, offering not just financial help, but emotional support as well. They reminded me that I wasn't alone in this struggle, and that it was okay to lean on others when times were tough. Their kindness and generosity gave me the strength to keep pushing forward. It was a powerful reminder of the importance of community and the impact that a helping hand can have on someone's life. And I had to get really creative with how I stretched those $10. I became a master of budget grocery shopping, finding the best deals and making the most of every ingredient. I learned to cook simple, nutritious meals that were both filling and affordable. It was a crash course in frugality, and it taught me valuable skills that I still use to this day. I discovered that with a little creativity and resourcefulness, I could make a lot out of a little. It was a lesson in resilience and adaptability, and it gave me a newfound appreciation for the value of money and the importance of being mindful with my spending. But looking back, it was one of the most valuable experiences of my life. That period of financial struggle taught me lessons that I wouldn't have learned otherwise. It showed me the importance of perseverance, the power of community, and the value of resourcefulness. It made me stronger and more resilient, and it gave me a deeper appreciation for the simple things in life. Now, whenever I face challenges, I remind myself of that time when $10 was all I had. It serves as a reminder that no matter how tough things get, I have the strength and determination to overcome them. It was a defining moment in my life, and it shaped me into the person I am today. That week, my diet consisted mainly of ramen noodles, and a lot of them. I mean, a whole lot. I'm talking breakfast, lunch, and dinner with maybe a side of rice if I was feeling fancy. Sometimes I even added an egg. But you know what? I learned to make it work. I experimented with different spices and sauces to make each meal a little different, adding variety to my days. And I learned to appreciate the simple things in life. I also had to get resourceful with my entertainment. I couldn't afford to go to the movies or concerts, so I spent my evenings reading library books, exploring my new city on foot, and connecting with friends. We found joy in the little things. It was a crash course in living simply, and it taught me more than I could have ever imagined. Those days were truly enlightening. That week, walking in those shoes, eating those ramen noodles, it opened my eyes to a whole new world, a world that I had been oblivious to before. I realized that there are so many people out there who are struggling to make ends meet, people who are facing challenges far greater than mine. It made me realize how fortunate I was, even when I felt like I had nothing. I had a roof over my head, I had people who loved me, and I had the drive and determination to keep pushing forward. That experience changed me, it changed my perspective, and it made me who I am today. That experience with having just $10 to my name opened my eyes to the very real issue of food insecurity. Did you know that over 37 million people in the United States, including more than 11 million children, face hunger every day? That means millions of families don't know where their next meal is coming from. Millions of parents go to bed hungry so their children can eat, and millions of kids go to school without breakfast. This isn't just a statistic, it's a real problem affecting real people, and it's something that we need to talk about more. That week wasn't easy, but it taught me that even in the toughest of times, there's always something to be grateful for. And there's always a way to turn challenges into opportunities. I learned the importance of budgeting. I discovered hidden talents I didn't even know I had, and I learned to appreciate the value of a dollar. Most importantly, I learned that I'm capable of overcoming anything life throws my way. And that, my friends, is a powerful realization. So if you're going through a tough time right now, know that you're not alone. There's always hope, there's always help, and you have the strength within you to overcome anything. When you're faced with limitations, whether it's a limited budget, limited resources, or even limited time, that's when your creativity truly shines. That week when I had just $10, I had to get really creative with how I stretched my money, how I entertained myself, and how I approached every aspect of my life. And you know what? It was actually kind of fun. It was like solving a puzzle every day, finding new and inventive ways to make things work. So don't be afraid to think outside the box, to challenge the status quo, and to embrace your inner MacGyver. I wouldn't have gotten through that tough time without the support of my friends and family. They were there for me every step of the way, offering words of encouragement, a listening ear, and sometimes even a spare couch to crash on. It made me realize the importance of community, of having people you can rely on, people who believe in you, even when you're doubting yourself. So if you're going through a tough time, don't be afraid to reach out for help. There are people who care about you, people who want to help you succeed. Remember, you don't have to go through this alone. That challenging experience taught me so much about myself, about resilience, about resourcefulness, and about the power of human connection. It also ignited a passion within me to help others who are facing similar challenges. That's why we're here today, sharing this story with you, because we want to inspire you, to empower you, and to show you that no matter what obstacles you're facing, you have the strength to overcome them. Together, we can build a brighter future, one challenge at a time. We all face challenges in life, big and small. It's how we approach those challenges that defines us. So, we want to hear from you. What's one challenge you're currently facing, and how are you working to overcome it? Share your story in the comments below, and let's inspire each other to keep pushing forward, to keep dreaming big, and to never give up on ourselves. Because together, we can achieve anything. We're just getting started. In the next chapter, we're going to share some practical tips and strategies to help you tackle any challenge with confidence. We're talking actionable advice, real-life examples, and maybe even a few laughs along the way. So don't go anywhere because you won't want to miss this. Hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, and get ready to level up your life. All right, guys, check out this fort. $10, a whole lot of duct tape, and boom, we're practically invincible. But building this thing, it got me thinking, about how creative you gotta be when you're working with limited resources. It reminded me of a time not that long ago when I was in a pretty tight spot myself. We're talking ramen for every meal kind of tight. And you know what? That experience, as tough as it was, it taught me so much about resilience, about making the most out of what you've got. See, back in the day before the whole Mr. Beast thing took off, I was just a regular dude trying to make ends meet. And let me tell you, there were times when stretching $10 for a week's worth of food felt like a challenge, worthy of a YouTube video itself. I'm talking about some serious budgeting skills, some next-level creativity in the kitchen. Think you can make a meal out of a can of beans and a packet of ramen seasoning? I did. It wasn't glamorous, but it taught me the value of every single dollar, every single meal. And you know what's crazy? My story, as tough as it was for me, it's not unique. Not even close. There are millions of people out there, right here in America, who face food insecurity every single day. They're figuring out how to feed their families, how to make ends meet, with way less than most of us have ever imagined. It's a reality check, Makes you appreciate what you've got and want to do something to help those who are struggling. So yeah, this challenge, this fort we built, it's about way more than just having some fun, messing around with duct tape. It's about tapping into that same spirit of resourcefulness, that same drive to overcome obstacles that so many people have to embrace every single day. It's about realizing that limitations, whether they're financial or creative, can actually push us to be more innovative, more resilient. And that's a lesson that applies to all of us, no matter what kind of challenges we're facing. think about it, when you're forced to get creative, to think outside the box, that's when the magic happens. That's when you discover solutions you never would have thought of otherwise. That's when you unlock a whole new level of resourcefulness within yourself. And that, my friends, is a superpower worth cultivating. Whether you're building a fort out of dollar store finds or tackling a major life goal, remember the same principles apply: resourcefulness, determination, and a whole lot of duct tape. Metaphorically speaking, of course. Look, I get it. Life throws curveballs. Sometimes it feels like you're stuck with nothing but a $10 bill and a whole lot of problems. But that's when you gotta dig deep, tap into that inner Mr. Beast, and turn those challenges into opportunities. Remember that time I ate a $70,000 golden pizza? Talk about a challenge. But we turned it into an epic video and raised a ton of money for charity. And that's what I want you to take away from this. That even when things seem impossible, there's always a way to make something amazing happen. Now, I'm not saying that every struggle is a blessing in disguise. Some situations are just plain tough, but I do believe that even in the midst of hardship, there's always something to be learned, something to be gained. Maybe it's a newfound appreciation for the simple things. Maybe it's a stronger sense of empathy for others who are going through similar struggles. Or maybe it's just the realization that you're way tougher than you ever thought you were. Building this fort today, it reminded me that limitations can actually be a catalyst for creativity. When we're forced to work with what we've got, we often discover hidden talents and untapped potential. And that's true whether we're talking about building a fort, building a business, or just building a better life for ourselves and our loved ones. So the next time you're facing a challenge, don't let it discourage you. Let it inspire you. Let it push you to think differently, to innovate, to create. Because when we embrace challenges head-on, when we refuse to give up, that's when we truly discover what we're capable of. That's when we unlock that inner strength, that resilience that helps us overcome any obstacle life throws our way. And that, my friends, is something worth celebrating. So let's give it up for resilience, for resourcefulness, and for the power of human ingenuity. We built this fort with $10 and a dream. What can you build with the resources you have at your disposal? So what are you waiting for? Get out there and start building. Build that business, write that book, create that thing you've always dreamed of. And remember, no matter what challenges you face along the way, you've got this. We believe in you. Now let's take this energy, this inspiration, and spread it far and wide. Share this video with someone who needs a little boost, someone who needs to be reminded of their own power and potential. Because together we can make the impossible possible.
First of all, what went through my mind is how stupid am I to actually volunteer for this.
As always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next adventure. Until then, stay creative, stay resourceful, and keep chasing those dreams. Peace out.
All right, guys, we just had some fun, shared a pretty personal story, and now it's time to give you some serious value. We're talking about how to crush any challenge life throws your way, whether it's building a $10 fort, starting your own business, or just getting through a tough week. These tips are going to help you level up. We're talking real deal strategies here, the kind that can change your life. Let's do this. First up, we've got a tip that seems simple but is crazy powerful. Break it down. Remember when we were building that fort? It seemed impossible at first, right? But we didn't let that stop us. We broke the challenge down into smaller steps, building the frame, then the walls, then adding the finishing touches. And guess what? Each small win kept us motivated to keep going. Think about it. What's your big goal? Write it down. Now, what are the smaller steps you need to take to get there? List those out too. Don't get overwhelmed by the big picture. Focus on one step at a time, and you'll be amazed at what you can accomplish. Seriously, this one tip can change everything. Alright, tip number 2 is all about resourcefulness. Remember how we used those cardboard boxes from the recycling bin? Don't be afraid to get creative and use what you've already got. We're all about that hustle here. And sometimes that means thinking outside the box. Or in this case, inside the recycling bin. This applies to more than just building materials, though. Think about your skills, your network, your experiences. You've got a lot more to work with than you realize. So before you go spending a ton of money or telling yourself you don't have what it takes, take a good look around. You might be surprised at the hidden resources you can tap into. Think about it. 2 heads are better than 1, right? Well, imagine what you could achieve with a whole team of awesome people. Find your crew, the people who believe in your vision and are ready to put in the work. Trust me, collaborating is not just more fun, it's also way more effective. Together, you can achieve anything. Alright, tip number 4 is a big one. Fail forward. Yep, you heard that right. Failure is part of the process. Remember all those times the fort collapsed while we were building it? Yeah, those weren't exactly high points, but they taught us valuable lessons. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, actually embrace them. Every mistake is an opportunity to learn and grow. The key is to not let setbacks discourage you. Dust yourself off, figure out what went wrong, and come back stronger. Remember, some of the most successful people in the world have failed more times than you can count. Last but not least, tip number 5. Celebrate the small wins. Don't wait until you've reached the finish line to celebrate your progress. Remember how pumped we were when we finally got the fort to stand up on its own? Those little victories kept us going, and they'll keep you going too. Take the time to acknowledge your hard work and appreciate how far you've come. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. A little dance party, a victory snack, or just a moment of gratitude can go a long way. Celebrating your wins, no matter how small, helps you stay motivated and reminds you that you're on the right track. So go ahead, give yourself a high five. You deserve it. Wow, guys, what a day. We started with just $10 and a crazy idea, and look what we accomplished. We built a fort, shared a personal story, and dropped some serious knowledge bombs on you. But this wasn't just about building a fort, was it? It was about so much more than that. This challenge was also about creativity, about thinking outside the box and finding innovative solutions to problems. And let me tell you, creativity isn't just for artists and musicians. It's a skill that's valuable in every aspect of life. Whether you're coming up with a new business idea, figuring out a way to save money, or just trying to make your life a little bit easier, creativity is key. So, what's the takeaway here? Simple. The same principles that helped us build a $10 fort can help you build your dreams. No matter how big or small your goals are, remember to break them down, use what you have, collaborate with others, fail forward, and celebrate every win along the way. But the challenge doesn't end here. This is just the beginning. Now it's your turn to take these tips and put them into action. Think about what you're passionate about. What are you good at? What problem do you want to solve? What kind of impact do you want to make on the world? Now we want to hear from you. What's your next big challenge? What are you going to build? Let us know in the comments below, and you might just inspire our next video. And hey, while you're at it, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our future adventures. Thanks for watching, everyone. Keep dreaming big, keep pushing boundaries, and never stop believing in yourself. We'll see you in the next one.